Welcome to Frankfort High School for this boys 2A Sagamore Conference rivalry matchup between the host Frankfort Hot Dogs sitting at 4-4, 2-1 in the conference, and the Southmont Monties sitting at 1-3-1 and 0-1 in the conference, alongside my broadcast partner Mike Wikowski. My name is Joey Lindstrom. Mike, it is so good to be with you, and we are rolling right now, ready for this intense soccer matchup. And I can't wait. We were talking beforehand. The biggest portion of what we're going to see on the field is how Frankfort's offense has been rolling so far. You look at a couple of their key players, and you look on the Southmont side with their key players. Both Coach Chris Butler for Frankfort and Stephanie Kennedy for Southmont are excited about their squad. Southmont gets their first win of the season against North Montgomery last night, 2-0. What are some keys you're looking for on both sides?
Well, first of all, for Frankfort, I'm impressed by Chris Butler's stability here. He's taken a program in the last 5 or 6 years. He's developed 2 sectional championships. That's very difficult to do. This year's team, I think Chris has found a little bit more challenging. He had a couple kids that he lost early on in the season. He's had to deal with COVID. Things just haven't gone their way at the beginning of the year, but I think they're starting to come around. As an example, early on in the season, they lost to an outstanding Crawfordsville club 8-1. Came back a couple days ago. They lost in a Sagamore Conference thriller 1-0 in overtime. His club is improving. A lot of it has to go with the finishers. Number 25, Jose Chepi Balderas, and number 13, Gail Hernandez. And
both these squads return a ton of starters. You see immediately what jumps out of the page for Frankfort. You mentioned those two, and their back line is something that they take a lot of pride in, as well as their goalkeeping. Tonight, Alex Campos Duenas starting in between the sticks. What do you expect to see from him and his leadership in this back line?
Joey, this is very interesting about Alex Campos. It comes from the standpoint, this is his first year. And I've seen Frankfort play soccer the last couple of years. They've had some pretty good keeping. He may be one of the better ones.
Almost a chance here on the prowl was number 4, Brian Sarabia. And that was the next question I was going to ask you. From those number 9 positions, I mean, trying to strike the ball in front of into the box, in the 6, how does Frankfort do that well? And how can they expose maybe a little bit of this the gaps in this Southmont Monties defense?
There are 2 players to watch for Frankfort in the midfield. Number 11, Yobi Trinado Alanis, number 11, and Damian Lopez. Both are outstanding distributors. If those 2 players can be allowed to have some space and make some things happen today, then the Hot Dogs can get on the board, and in combination with an outstanding keeper in Campos and some breaks as they get one now, they can have a chance to get a W here in Frankfort.
First time we're seeing the set piece for the Hot Dogs. In goal for Southmont is Rylan Gaylor. And out in front of the 6, nobody home, but still keeping it in possession is Frankfort.
Number 11, Yobi Trinando Alanis. Joey, he's a second-year captain. You've got to have leadership. And along with Trinando Alanis, you've got number 16, Marcos Garcia, who's in his 3rd year as captain for Chris Butler's Hot Dogs.
And that leadership, we talked a little bit earlier prior to the broadcast, that's something that really they want to hit home. And I think Coach Chris Butler knows that, having been a Frankfort alum and a soccer alum too. Some of his teams, I mean, obviously required that type of leadership. And last year going 6-10-1, 3-4 conference, I mean, they have this upside, the potential. And when you return a leader like that, that's something that can really help you.
It definitely can. And for Southmont, Coach Kennedy, her team is really hungry. And they haven't played too many matches, but she thought coming into this week that they might have a chance to really turn some things around. And as you mentioned, they were able to do it against North Montgomery with their first Sagamore Conference win, as we see a Mountie shaken up in the play here as the game has stopped here with 36-37 here in the first half. But Coach Kennedy feels like her team is starting to put some things together. When you have a new coach and a new system, it takes some time, and I think finally the Mounties are starting to put some things together as you take a look at the injured player. That it might be Logan Link. Maybe not. Number
it's
15.
Actually Logan Phillips. Logan
Yep.
Phillips, yep. And he's one of those leaders on the back line that Stephanie Kennedy was talking about. And they get that win last night, but early in the season, she was just encouraged that her team just fought, and they do not stop. They do not give up, and no matter what, they have this fight to them that they play for the full 80 minutes.
Yeah, that's what she said. She said that, they're not winning, but they have a fight, and that's something that she also pointed out to, that you can't coach. It has to come instinctively from the players. The Southmont group apparently has that, and this is going to be a good match for the Frankfort Hot Dogs this afternoon.
Trickling off the right foot of Trinado Alinas. Going out of bounds, and I think Frankfort, to try to win their possessions, the best thing they can do is keep it out of the middle and into the offensive zone. Here's a brief chance here. Gail Hernandez on the prowl, and he's met by a few Southmont defenders. Beautiful day here in Frankfort, Indiana. Expect nothing less. Mm-hmm. And here come the Monties. In that 4-4-2 style, Mike, they have this, strategy. You leave two strikers essentially up front. And that opens a lot of different windows for them to try to score. It seems if they come off a 2-0 win last night, they're going to try to look for some similar things, I have to imagine, that helped them win last night.
Winning is contagious. Now, the important thing is for these two clubs, as it is for everybody, is to be in solid condition, especially early on in the year when the weather still is 85 or 90 degrees. And let me tell you, it is really humid outside.
Mm-hmm. It sure is. We're lucky to be inside.
There is a breeze, so that's the good news.
Yep. Doing a nice job of corralling it there was Jose Balderas. And he shifts it up. Here's Alinas. Alinas, that one goes wide of the cage. But a good chance nonetheless for Frankfort.
No doubt about it. Great opportunity for Frankfort to put some heat on Southmont early on, and it will be important for Frankfort in this first half to jump on top of the Mounties. Why? Because Southmont had to travel here. When you're traveling from Montgomery County here to Frankfort, team's going to be a little rusty getting off the bus. In fact, the Southmont team was a little late arrival.
A little bit, yep.
So,
a little bit of a delayed start for us.
So maybe they didn't get the kind of warm-up that they would have liked to. So maybe the Hot Dogs can take advantage of here in the first half.
Playing in the middle. Here's Balderas again. Moving it up nicely.
And for the first time, the Hot Dogs are going to have a corner kick. So, again, good pressure in the first half by Chris Butler's Hot Dogs.
That's right. And Julian Luce was the one intending to get in there. Now kicking will be Alanis again. Strong corner set piece. That one corralled in front briefly, but it gets poked away back into the net, and I believe that is a goal for the Hot Dogs.
That is a goal for Frankfort. Frankfort is on the board, and frankly, Joey, I think that's number 12 for Frankfort. Julia Lutz, who is playing on the right post, that knocked it in past the keeper, and the Hot Dogs go up in front. Again, very important for Frankfort to get on top early in the first half.
A bit of an unconventional score, if you will. Look, a little bit of a deflection, defender trying to poke it out of there. And I was even stunned, but nonetheless, we have a goal for the Frankfort Hot Dogs, and it's 1-0. Scoring off the set piece, off the foot of Alanis, and Lutz was right there, very opportunistic.
Not only is this a Sagamore Conference matchup, but these two teams could potentially match up in sectional play in Class 2A at Crawfordsville. The difference will be at Crawfordsville, you're going to play on a turf field. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be faster. It's going to be different. But yet it still is important to the development of both these clubs to be competitive in this afternoon's match here in Frankfort.
And you said at Crawfordsville, Danville, Frankfort, Greencastle, North Montgomery, Southmont, and Tri-West. Tri-West and Crawfordsville in the top 20. Tri-West sitting at 11 and Crawfordsville at number 20 in the coaches poll. So it's a tough sectional. Nothing to sneeze at.
No, very tough sectional. And yet Chris Butler with his team at 4-4, I think he believes that his team has a shot. Frankly, any time you play on a turf field, things really change dramatically. But at the same time, Frankfort has 2 sectional championships. They've got the pedigree. They can compete.
How does a lot of the speed change when you switch from grass to turf?
Well, the anticipation of the ball really changes. I mean, it's really slow right now as we take a look at this. If you're playing on turf, the ball is going to bounce really, really fast. So things aren't always going to be the same. And as I've told people, when it comes to any sport, it's always a one-game setup. And you never know who's going to be there, especially this year with COVID coming out. There's been so many players who have been down. But then also, too, this is a very physical sport. Who's going to be healthy?
Well, we have no reported injuries prior to the game, which is helpful for both squads. So Frankfort looking to capitalize on their first goal. This year so far, they're 3-1 at home right here at the middle school fields.
Take a look at Marcos Garcia, number 16, who just popped the ball out of there, the third captain for Frankfort. He will be very critical on the defensive end. He just made a play there at midfield for Chris Butler's Hot Dogs.
And he's one of those key guys that really keeps the possession moving for both these squads.
Boy, the backside has to be very critical today for the Hot Dogs. Mejia, 18, Ramos, 17, and Hernan Hernandez Rosas, number 6.
Nice athletic move to get that ball into the offensive zone. Corralled there in the goal by Alex Campos.
Before the victory against North Montgomery, Southmont dropped a 4-1 match to Greencastle. We talked about Greencastle, a club I believe it's ranked 18th in Class 2A. They'll be in the sectional. They are now 7-0-1. Greencastle 7-0-1. It'll be Greencastle and Crawfordsville probably be headlining that sectional.
Making some nifty moves to get up into the offensive zone. That's Gail Hernandez, the sophomore forward. And he's in that striker position. He likes to float around that area, and he's got a lot of good ball skills to get himself open and his teammates. The big question today is going to be how Southmont plays after that win, as that one's corralled off the set piece.
And also, when your back is pushed against the wall and you're down early on in a match, 1-0, how will you respond? That's really important for a young club, and Coach Kennedy would love to see her team continue to fight here in this match this afternoon.
That one corralled by the foot there of number 17, Kevin Ramos.
The 2 forwards for Southmont will be important in today's match. Sam Barisel, 24, and Skylar Wood, number 14. But here comes Frankfort.
Here's a chance out in front. That shot nicely gathered up by Gaylor.
Unfortunately, Brian Sarabi was going so quickly, I think he would like to have popped it up instead of putting it on the ground.
Yeah.
And he gave Gaylor an opportunity to pick it up very easily.
Yeah, that ball, a little bit of a worm burner down to the right side of our point of view for the cage, the left side for Gaylor. So here's Southmont, a little bit of a chance here. Trying to find that space. Most of the possession has belonged to Frankfort.
Frankfort's done a good job getting back into that defensive shell. You look at 5 backs back there battling 3 Southmont offenders there. And defensively, if Frankfort's going to win the match, that's where it's going to happen. They have not been scoring a lot of goals in the latter part of this season, But that is relative to the fact that they've been a pretty good defensive club.
That one knocked briefly out of bounds by Christian Worth. Take a second to remind you, we're brought to you by Endeavor Communications. Endeavor Communications offers a variety of internet speeds that fits your family or business needs. Surf the internet faster than ever before with internet speeds up to a gig. Contact us at weendeavor.com for more information. That's weendeavor.com.
Here's what's really interesting about these two teams coming in today's match. Both have 7 seniors. Both have the same distribution of seniors, but yet they play a lot of youngsters. So there's a lot of potential here. And as talked about, Southmont is just getting better each and every week. They've been pretty good. In fact, early on this season, they lost to Crawfordsville 1-0. They've had some good matches, losing a 3-2 opener to Lafayette Central Catholic.
This year having that's a tough little stretch there to begin your season. Now you're trying to get your feet wet. And you play this Frankfort team, maybe with a little momentum, but also could be a little tired having just played last night. You get here a little bit late. Takes a little bit to shake the rust off, maybe. Get the lactic acid out.
That's why it's so important to have a masseuse.
Oh, yes. And everybody's got one,
Well, if you can have a masseuse to be able to move that lactic acid out of your body, boy, you're going to feel real good, be able to move around pretty well.
A lot of those trainers now have the Hypervolt, which is that massage gun that they give you.
I bought one of those at the state fair this year.
Did you?
Admittedly. Admittedly. And it works.
And you've never felt better.
No, except I didn't use it today.
Oh, well.
I should have brought it with me.
No wonder you're feeling stiff in the chair.
Yeah.
So here we go. Here's a free kick for Alanis. And as Southmont gets ready to go defensively, that one's sent, and that is in the back of the net.
How do you like that?
Alanis. Not to use it again, but a worm burner right through the legs there of Gaylor. And Frankfort's up 2-0.
He put it down on the left post, and Gaylor kind of froze. He just kind of looked at it and didn't go down with the body or use his hands to try to deflect the ball. I think he was in shock.
So in the 16th minute, Frankfort takes a 2-goal lead.
And again, this is where Frankfort needed to be able to make its mark in the first half against a team that, as Joey talked about, had just come off a big victory over Sagamore Conference rival North Montgomery, and a county rival at that.
Well, you look at this Frankfort squad, having only lost 1-0 to Crawfordsville. That big chance. They had a big chance to take down a top 20 squad. To only lose 1-0 is certainly a momentum boost, too, because you realize, hey, you know what, we're capable of this.
We're there.
Exactly, we're there. Kind of notice the difference of speed, too, so far that Frankfort's playing with, specifically in their front line.
Taishi Greiner, number 12 for Southmont, is a senior midfielder. He was able to push the ball up for Coach Kennedy's Mounties.
Sending it to the right back, that number 19, Justin Bachman, a senior. And here come the Hot Dogs once again. The boys in blue look quick. Nice defensive poke.
You don't see this very often with the defenseman coming up down the sideline and Hernan Hernandez Rosas taking the ball up the left side, getting the ball in position, put pressure on the Mounties.
Brief chance here on the prowl. That's number 24, Samuel Buck-Carroll. But stealing that one away and poking away is Alanis again. Sending it over to the right back. That's Edwin Mejia Mora. Big collision out in front. No call from the official on the continuation. Southmont looks like they're just trying to withstand a offensive possession here.
And it looks to me that Southmont is really reeling from this travel. They are just not crisp. They're really tired. There's a lot of kids on the pitch now kind of bent over. They just don't seem to have a whole lot of energy. This is where Frankfort needs to really strike back, get on the board again, put a lot more pressure on the Mounties here in the first half.
You got to imagine if you're Coach Chris Butler that you recognize that and try to capitalize on that as well. Good work by Kevin Ramos to poke that one away off the knees there of Skylar Wood, the junior forward.
I think that was a good substitution there by Chris Butler, bringing in Miguel Gabriel for Jose Balderas. Looked like Balderas was gassing a little bit, needed a little bit of time to kind of relax right now, so get some fresh legs in the middle of the field.
Kind of working through the cluster there was number 13, Gail Hernandez. Southmont gets the better of it and takes it.
And Gail Hernandez may have pulled something. He may have pulled a groin on the right side near midfield.
I hope he's all right. Southmont briefly had that possession, losing it.
He's in good shape.
On the cross pass.
He's back running down the field.
There you go, Gail.
He's stretching.
Yep, you can see him right there in 13, but hopefully okay. So Southmont last season going 1-8-1, 1-6 in their conference, losing to Tri-West in their sectional. Their last winning season, 2010-2011 campaign, 6-5, losing their sectional there as well. So it's a growing program, slowly but surely. I think winning against North Montgomery gives you a lot of momentum as a program too, and maybe some confidence.
I think with Stephanie Kennedy as coach, here's a young lady who was an assistant at DePauw. With that experience, being at the collegiate level, coming back as a former Southmont Monty, she had played varsity soccer for the girls program. That has to be a boost for this program. Anytime you got a new coach who's familiar with your program, that's an advantage. Just like Chris Butler, being a Frankfort grad, coming back to Frankfort, bringing some stability to the program.
Bit of loose contact there, no call. Here comes Southmont once again. Seems like the errors for Southmont are coming just on one. They're one pass away, maybe just a little bit of a misfire. But good defense by Frankfort. That's Alanis again. Brief trip there by number 8, Damian Lopez. Tripping up Christian Prado, and he'll get a free kick.
Coach Kennedy talked about Christian Prado in center mid, said he's one of the most productive Mounties for her club. And right now they've got to find a way to get on the board here and get back in this match.
That ball headed over the top.
Wow, that was close.
Cage. That was close. But Alex Campos.
Greiner kicked it up in the wind.
Yeah, he did.
That was a hard ball to track. There's no doubt about it. It looked like from here, from our perspective, I thought maybe that was a goal.
It did look like the arc was going to try to come down maybe right, sneak itself right into the goal, but nonetheless, just a bit over.
Wow, look at that kick. Wind aided, no less.
Absolute bomb of a clear. Oop, that one hit in the back of number 8, Lopez. And they're sending it down to the left side.
That was a quick shot by Gail Hernandez, went off the back of one of the Southmont Monties, and another corner kick for Frankfort.
Here's Frankfort and their set piece. Saved by Gaylor briefly, and he knocks that one out of bounds. Looks like he just kind of fumbled the catch, but Frankfort scored on their very first corner kick. Obviously looking for the same result on their second try here. That one a little too long. Corralled by Taishi Greiner. Grinder pokes that one away again, and it'll be Frankfort ball. So we're already over halfway through. So far, your impressions, Mike?
Well, so far, Frankfort has dominated this entire first half, both on the offensive end and on the defensive end. And as I've talked about, it looks like Southmont is really tired. They just don't have a whole lot of energy right now. They have to find a good thing to happen right now. And I would think the conditions on the field have changed a little bit from where we first started. It was really sunny outside, maybe humid. I think the wind has really picked up, really changed the complexion of the field.
Could be, and the sun not being out anymore, getting behind the clouds could be also factor positively for either squad. Here's Alanis, That one goes over the cage.
Shots that you take on this end of the field are going to go a great distance, and I'm not quite sure if Frankfort has settled into that fact at this point. Boy, the wind is blowing it. It looks like 10, 15 miles an hour.
Crown that corner kick briefly was Sarabia. There's Southmont. Good effort to get that one into the offensive zone. And they'll keep it there. Keep deflecting away. Good play by Alanis to get it to his teammate Quintanilla. That one kicked out of bounds. Defining Looks Wig, Hair, and Nail Salon, where they can assist you with a wig for your hair loss needs due to COVID-19, any medical conditions such as cancer or age-related thinning hair. They're also certified in toppers, wigs for children, and children with hair loss. Find them at www.defininglooks.com or on Facebook or Instagram, located at 311 Sagamore Parkway North in Lafayette.
Now Frankfort has a chance to have a counterattack here, and they unfortunately couldn't make the pass here to slow things up. Here comes Southmont again.
Southmont starting to flirt with the offensive zone and get a chance here. Had one free kick that maybe looked like it was centimeters away from at least bouncing off the post, and then a couple more, and it would have gone in. This one will remain with the Mounties.
One player that's impressed me early on in this first half is number 4 for Frankfort, Brian Sarabia. He's been moving all over the field on the right side. And now Southmont has the ball on the right side of the field. For most of the first half, if Southmont penetrated the Frankfort zone, they had the ball on the left side. Now they've moved it on the other side now. They
haven't quite been able to get it into the 6 yet, but certainly going to try to get it on their way here. This shot goes a little bit wide, that one by number 24, Becerril.
And I think he shot that one a little bit too fast.
Yeah.
He didn't have control of it, kind of shot it blindly. Unfortunately for him, it was way wide. Boy, the wind is really carrying the ball out deep.
Or he's just really hitting the legs hard this week. Nice move inside by Hernandez. That one poked away. Even better defensive effort by Silas Adams of Southmont. In that back left zone, he's got his spot owned there. Frankfort not being able to penetrate yet. Under 14 to go here in our first half. That one saved by Gaylor.
Alanis taking another shot. And again, Sarabia, an excellent player, number 4. I think as a junior, he could be another up-and-coming star for the Frankfort Hot Dogs.
That one sent over the top. So glad you were here with us. Joey Lindstrom alongside Mike Walensky. Frankfort leads 2-0 off of goals by Alanis. And first off, a Lutz from a deflection out in front of the goal. That's how we've gotten to this point. The Hot Dogs have controlled the time of possession, if there was one, so far.
Defensively, Silas Adams, number 1 for Southmont, has played an outstanding game. He's been all over the field. Without him, maybe it's 3 or 4-0 Frankfort.
Of course, Southmont coming off their win yesterday against North Montgomery. And looks like we get a keeper change for Southmont. Rylan Gaylor looks like he's coming off. And while we await a number for you, the Frankfort Hot Dogs will have another possession here.
It's interesting on our scorecard, Ryan Gaylor is the only goalkeeper listed on the scorecard, but that obviously has changed as they have another keeper in the lineup for whatever reason. Maybe he's not feeling well.
Could be, and you have the game last night.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Southmont now. And briefly having a chance, but getting it poked away by Alanis. This back line for Frankfurt so far holding up.
Doing a
nice
really
wall.
good job. I think things are going to change in the second half with the wind. I think the wind is playing an enormous factor.
Alanis got it inside to Balderas. And at that holding midfield position, Balderas has made a lot of offense happen. Nice kick all the way down to the end line. Unfortunately, this one trickles out of bounds, but that's the kind of thing he's been bringing to this match today.
And he gave a lot of energy early on in the match where Chris Butler went to the bench and replaced him as he's back onto the pitch. A key component in the middle of the Frankfurt offensive attack.
Skying that one for the Mounties was Logan Link. Haven't said his name too much today at the back left, but he has made an impact.
Coach Butler said Balderas' nickname is, I think it's Choppy. And he's been outstanding. I talked about him being a distributor along with Hernandez, and you mentioned it. Been very helpful today.
Well, here he is, Balderas, and when he gets in that space, and he's got some nice foot moves to work around, and he's definitely sort of a magician with the boots. All these guys have a little more pizzazz, if you will, at the midfield than you'd normally expect. That forwarding pass, no good. Intended for the left foot of Hunter Gray, the freshman. The Mounties get it back.
Great effort there by Ramos.
Excuse me, the Hot Dogs get it back. Yep, Ramos, great effort.
Again, on a grass field, the turf is so slow, you almost have to wait for it.
Chance here for Greiner, and he's got it.
There, it's a great opportunity. Got by the defense. The defense failed that time. Unfortunately, Marcos Garcia Cruz, 16, was not able to catch up with him. Nice chance.
Greiner, the goal, and Hunter Gray with the assist to get him in that position. Great work by the Mounties, and it is all of a sudden 2-1 with under 10 to play in the first half. And they say, I don't know if you've heard this, but the most dangerous lead in soccer is 2-0 because you don't want to get too comfortable. Is it possible that Frankfurt maybe got too comfortable there on defense?
I think they did. I think they weren't as aggressive defensively on the backside as they had been early on in the match. They kind of took it easy a little bit for whatever reason. And again, conditioning plays a huge role throughout a match like this because of the it's very hot outside, and a lot of humidity. And we had some precipitation earlier in the Frankfurt area. I like that foul on Sarabia. Very aggressive. It's going to make the Southmont Monty think about the next time he handles the ball in that direction.
Sometimes you have to do that and maybe send a little message. Here's Gray. Becerril battling on the inside with Quintanilla.
And I think that was the energy that Southmont needed. All of a sudden, you can see a change in their body language, although there was a mistake that was made on that pass there.
Here's a little more aggression. Looks like they're hustling. Here's Sarabia. No one poked out of bounds to go back to Southmont. All of a sudden, the energy in the body language has seemed to change for Southmont. Arasil, nice move to get inside. He's got another chance here. He sure got his teammate. That chance, no good.
At the last minute, Josh Troutman, number 13, a sophomore, came in and tipped the ball away. Nice pass to his keeper.
So Alanis with the chance. Does not go for the Hot Dogs. But this is a competitive game, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
You love to see it.
It's changed dramatically, and with Southmont having a change of wind in the second half, we might see a different outcome. Both teams now are really struggling physically on the field. You could just see it.
You can start to see the end of the first half fatigue start to set in a little bit. Here's Hernandez getting some space and scoring. Hernandez.
How do you like that? Gail Hernandez took advantage of the Southmont defenders running out of gas and took it all away.
There you go. 3-1 the lead for the Hot Dogs. And Hernandez, what a goal.
Just when everybody seemed to turn off the ignition, he turned it up.
That's right. And from that forward spot, striking out the right foot with authority. And wouldn't you know it, the number 11, 12, and 13 players for Frankfort have all scored. Not in that order.
Well, Chris Butler did say that Gail Hernandez and Jose Balderas were excellent finishers.
That he did. Here's Hernandez again. Briefly getting tied up with Griner. Southmont trying to score in a hurry, it looks like, before the half. Good defensive work by Silas Adams to poke that one away.
Adams, a senior. If you could have the same kind of production out of Adams as you have on the entire Southmont club, they'd be awfully good because he's a very, very good defender.
Possession arrow goes to the Mounties, so here we go. See if they can put together an offensive possession. 5 minutes to go here in our first half. That one corralled briefly by the right foot of Troutman and immediately poked out of bounds, so a nice clear kick up to Hernandez. He tries to corral it. Boy, I didn't play a whole lot of soccer growing up, but I feel like the hardest part would be when the ball's in the air and you know someone else is coming right towards it. Don't want to have a head-to-head contact or anything like that. But I love watching it.
This could be a tough kick upcoming because the wind's blowing in his face. This ball might come back.
Looks like he did change direction. Heads over 2. Is right back. That one falls right into the lap of Alanis. Long ball. That one way far outside.
An ill-advised kick because you look at the scoreboard, there's 3.5 left to go, and he just hit it as hard as he could, and the wind took it way out.
So Southmont out of Crawfordsville, 0-1-1 in their away record this season. Obviously seeking their first road win, and if they can do that, they're going to have to, in order to do that, rather, they're going to have to overcome this 2-goal deficit. Getting up to Gray nicely. Here's Griner again. There's Alanis. Scooting it over to his teammate again. Gray. Now Southmont has a little bit of advantage as far as numbers go. That one poked out into the outside restraining box and into the gloves of Campos. But you're right, he does have a wicked clearing kick.
Another mistake by Josh Troutman, number 13. Kicked the ball off the side of his foot, went out of bounds.
I got to imagine that's a pretty tough play to try to direct, or tough ball rather, to try to direct. That one over to Griner. Trying to get it up to Gray. Good defensive effort there by Garcia Cruz.
And Hunter Grays, you just mentioned, number 20 on the ball right now, just a freshman.
And that nice assist up to Griner, who made it happen for the Mounties' goal. Here's Hernandez. We're going to see it again. With a minute left in the half. Frankfort up 3-1. Trying to make it 4. Balderas. And you can see the body language. A lot of these kids tired, probably ready to pack it in for the half, get the orange slice, what have you.
And the lights have come on. So it's getting a little bit darker out here.
Yep, the clouds covering the sun as it starts to set. Almost shaping up to be a nice play. In position there was Christian Prado. He ends up without the chance. And in the final winding seconds, Southmont has one more chance to send this one, and it'll be corralled by Campos off the foot of Caden Patton. 3-1 is our score at half. Mike Walensky, your thoughts for the first half?
Well, Frankfort had the advantage, as we talked about throughout the course of the first half, of the wind. And I think the wind played a huge factor. But as you mentioned, the guys up front did a good job. The one goal that was most impressive by number 13, Gal Hernandez. And that might be the difference maker here for Frankfort. But we've got another half.
That's right, we do. You are watching Southmont at Frankfort on the IHSA Boys Soccer on the ISC Sports Network.
I brought you a present. A book.
Follow the adventures of the Ardente Dental team as they fight cavities, gum disease, and create beautiful, healthy smiles.
Inconceivable!
Hello, my name is Dr. Snyder. You cause cavities.
prepare to die.
Inconceivable!
To make your smile look straight and fine, our braces per month are just $1.99.
Inconceivable!
You keep using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means.
Have fun at Ardente Dental.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Defining Looks is a full-service wig and hair salon. We offer shampoo, cut, color, and styling for wigs and hair. Whether your situation is medical or cosmetic, our goal is to help you every step of the way in this emotional process. Let Defining Looks help you create your signature look. Schedule a consultation at defininglooks.com. Defining Looks, located on Sagamore Parkway North, next to Home Depot.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Finding affordable, quality reproductive health care isn't always easy. Did you know that there is now a family planning and reproductive health clinic in our area that is income-based? Services include Pap tests, breast cancer screenings, pregnancy tests, sexually transmitted infection and HIV testing, same-day birth control placement, filled prescriptions, and free condoms. Services are on an income-based sliding scale. Visit 1234 Rossville Avenue or call 659-6063 for more information or to schedule an appointment. For the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, you need a managed Wi-Fi service with advanced Blast Wi-Fi. Blast Wi-Fi systems provide ultimate coverage, ultimate performance, and ultimate power all the time. Available from Mulberry Telecommunications, Blast Wi-Fi systems feature the latest Wi-Fi 6 technology and are equipped with unrivaled bandwidth and 4 times more simultaneous connections so you can connect tons of devices throughout your home with no lag and no downtime. Plus, with 24/7 support and remote troubleshooting, you can rest assured that Mulberry Telecommunications is always here to help you should any issues arise. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, and it's a blast. Blast Wi-Fi is now included with Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet packages. Contact Mulberry Telecommunications at 296-2885 today to get started.
Want lightning fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town, so you can download huge files in a flash, stream videos at blazing speeds, and game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit WeEndeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Defining Looks is a full-service wig and hair salon. We offer shampoo, cut, color, and styling for wigs and hair. Whether your situation is medical or cosmetic, our goal is to help you every step of the way in this emotional process. Let Defining Looks help you create your signature look. Schedule a consultation at defininglooks.com. Defining Looks, located on Sagamore Parkway North, next to Home Depot.
Finding affordable, quality reproductive health care isn't always easy. Did you know that there is now a family planning and reproductive health clinic in our area that is income-based? Services include Pap tests, breast cancer screenings, pregnancy tests, sexually transmitted infection and HIV testing, same-day birth control placement, filled prescriptions, and free condoms. Services are on an income-based sliding scale. Visit 1234 Rossville Avenue or call 659-6063 for more information or to schedule an appointment.
I brought you a present. A book.
Follow the adventures of the Ardente Dental team as they fight cavities, gum disease, and create beautiful, healthy smiles.
Inconceivable! Hello, my name is Dr. Snyder. You cause cavities. Prepare to die. Inconceivable! To make your smile look straight and fine, our braces per month are just $1.99. Inconceivable!
You keep using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means.
Have fun at Ardente Dental.
The offensive source in this quarter. Brady, hello, has the first down.
Smith tracks it down, shot at the buzzer. Sideline, he cuts it back. Can he get to the goal line?
Stankham looks for his man and fell from the seat of his pants, makes the grab. Johnson gets by that first wave, bounces it outside. Johnson into the end zone. Touchdown, Lawrence Central.
For the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, you need a managed Wi-Fi service with advanced Blast Wi-Fi. Blast Wi-Fi systems provide ultimate coverage, ultimate performance, and ultimate power all the time. Available from Mulberry Telecommunications, Blast Wi-Fi systems feature the latest Wi-Fi 6 technology and are equipped with unrivaled bandwidth and 4 times more simultaneous connections so you can connect tons of devices throughout your home with no lag and no downtime. Plus, with 24/7 support and remote troubleshooting, you can rest assured that Mulberry Telecommunications is always here to help you should any issues arise. In addition, the Ultimate Managed Wi-Fi also comes with the Ultimate app. The Command IQ mobile app puts you in control of your home network and makes it easy to set up and connect devices, run network speed tests, pause Wi-Fi, and set parental controls, all from the palm of your hand. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, and it's a blast. Blast Wi-Fi is now included with Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet packages. Contact Mulberry Telecommunications at 296-2885 today to get started.
I brought you a present. A book.
Follow the adventures of the Ardente Dental team as they fight cavities, gum disease, and create beautiful, healthy smiles.
Inconceivable! Hello, my name is Dr. Snyder. You cause cavities. Prepare to die. Inconceivable! To make your smile look straight and fine, our braces per month are just $1.99. Inconceivable!
You keep using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means.
Have fun at Ardente Dental.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Defining Looks is a full-service wig and hair salon. We offer shampoo, cut, color, and styling for wigs and hair. Whether your situation is medical or cosmetic, our goal is to help you every step of the way in this emotional process. Let Defining Looks help you create your signature look. Schedule a consultation at defininglooks.com. Defining Looks, located on Sagamore Parkway North, next to Home Depot.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Healthy Communities of Clinton County. The Healthy Communities of Clinton County Coalition, boy, that's a mouthful, was formed in 2006 as a partnership of healthcare providers, service care providers, educators, and community leaders who were interested in addressing issues of health in the Clinton County community. Now, over 15 years later, the coalition is still committed to making permanent changes by encouraging policy, systems, and environmental changes with the desire to always make the healthy choice the easy choice. Learn more at healthyclintoncounty.org. Frankfort.com. Welcome back to Frankfort High School. Joey Lindstrom alongside Mike Walensky. Our count is 3-1 for the Frankfort Hot Dogs over the Southmont Mounties. Mike, what a half for the Hot Dogs. We saw goals from Lutz on a deflection, from Alanis on a nice strike, and Hernandez on a beautiful play to get himself open for the Hot Dogs. And then on the Southmont side, we saw that goal from Greiner, and basically an individual effort, but the assist by Hunter Gray. And all those goals were very impressive. What stood out to you as far as play in between, the goals respectively?
I think the biggest challenge right now for both these clubs is conditioning. I don't think that these kids are as conditioned as they need to be to play at a higher level. At some point, because of the lack of conditioning, they could match up with a better club. It'll take them out early on. They've got to find a way to ramp up their play, and that's where coaching comes into play. And I know that Coach Butler and Coach Kennedy have done that, will continue to do that. It pushed their kids further. I know both these teams have a lot of fight in them. They've got a lot of hunger. There's no doubt about that, but you always got to get better, and conditioning plays a huge role. We saw in the first half, from time to time, players just kind of stand around and possibly affect from the heat and the humidity that we had, and we had a little bit of precipitation early on, and then it got darker now, but they've got to play on, and they've got to play tough in the second half.
They sure do. We talked to, you talked to Stephanie Kennedy, former DePaul assistant coach, and she has this attitude with her team and says they just need to keep fighting like they always do. Here's a shot from Alanis, and it goes through. That one just outside the restraining box. What a strike off the right foot of Alanis.
Yobi has been phenomenal in today's match. The second-year captain with another goal for Chris Butler's club. And that's a huge goal in this one because 3 goals gives a little bit more separation here and a little bit more room to make mistakes to allow the Southmont Mounties, if they get another goal, to get a little bit closer. But 4-1, that's a nice little spread.
That, as we said, or maybe I spoke it, but 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in soccer because you don't want to get too comfortable. We saw that happen to Frankfort, and all of a sudden Southmont comes back and scores, but then Frankfort responds now twice. Another shot, that one going a little bit wide of the cage.
I talked about how active Brian Serbia was. I mentioned his name in the first half as Sarabia, and I apologize for that. It's Serbia. He's really been all over the field. I really like the way he plays, and he made some things happen there on that attack for the Hot Dogs.
Ball play mostly in the defensive zone of Southmont. Obviously a tough place to be. But how impressive from Coach Butler's squad. They've been able to find that open space and make a couple guys miss to get open shots.
I think that's the advantage sometimes of playing at home, is to have that extra energy, that ability to come back after school and be ready to play immediately, whereas the opposing team has to get everything in order. They got to get on a bus. They got to travel. Bodies are a little bit tight.
Well, Frankfort certainly has had the advantage at home. They lost their last game to Crawfordsville at home, but they, prior to that, were 3-0 here at Frankfort Middle School. And they've been able to create opportunities, not so much by getting in the box, but really just by having that open space, about 10 yards from the goal.
This could be the difference maker in this half, as Campos, who just picked up the ball there. He's an outstanding keeper. If he has a good match in this second half, Frankfort can ride this one home with another victory.
Greiner popping it over to the top to Skylar Wood, who's battling. He creates some space, and that one gets poked away by number 17, Ramos.
I think that's a corner kick. It should be.
I believe it is, yeah. It deflected out on the end line, should be.
Again, we're early on in the second period, so teams aren't at an urgency level right now. Southmont kind of takes its time getting into the box here. But you're still down 3 goals.
Well, this will be their third set piece of the day. They've gone over so far. Deflected away. Looked like that was Alanis. And here come the hot dogs. Poked away. Southmont trying to gain some momentum. That one streaking on the side, and that was saved away. Brief poke maybe by Campos. Off the foot of Becerril, excuse me.
Soft play defensively that time by Frankfort. Left a little bit the gap back in the backside there. And as you mentioned, there was a shot on goal. It was a clear shot on goal and nearly on the mark.
That clearing kick trickling out of bounds. It'll go back to Southmont. Talk about how impressive this back line for Frankfort's been. Quite a few turnovers caused. Specifically by the efforts of Garcia Cruz and Mejia Mora.
Frankfort's going to have an opportunity here as Hernandez is taken down inside the box.
They sure are. This is huge. Hernandez already with 1 goal today. At 34:07, they gain a PK. What's the psyche of the goalkeeper when they're in between the sticks in a situation like this?
If I'm a keeper, I'm going to be excited. I get an opportunity. I got a chance. Now, if you think negatively, you're going to let it go.
Right.
But think positively. Think that it's your chance. It's your time to shine, and here we go.
Forever have to be the optimist. Here's Hernandez. That one to the right side. An easy goal for Hernandez.
Right on the right post. Perfect kick. Now the keeper moved his right hand as if he was going to move to the right and just stood his ground.
So our count now is 5-1. And Frankfort, a commanding lead. This does not tie. This ties their second most this season as far as goals.
Looks like we have a new keeper coming in. Campos is checking out.
That would be Jose Roman Campos instead of Alex Campos Duenas. And we have a train nearby. So, beginning to say, they beat Western Boone 5-0 on the 19th of August. And then they beat Eastern out of Greentown 7-0. And now with the 5-1 lead, ties their second most goals per game.
I wonder if Joey, I wonder if the train conductor is watching the match on the IC network as he's blowing a horn when the Frankfort Hot Dogs score a goal.
That would be fitting, huh?
Yeah. It's possible.
Hometown favoritism. Gotta love it. Especially even out of your train conductors. Here's Alanis.
Too much space.
Yeah, they had way too much space. That strike came off hot on the right foot.
Wait, Alanis had no business being that free in the middle of the field, that close to the goal. Something broke down on the backside of Southmont's defense there.
Long one. That gets deflected out by the goalkeeper.
Looked to me that Marcos Garcia Cruz tried to get up in the air and drive the ball past the keeper, and it slipped past. There was some contact. Nearly an opportunity there for Frankfort.
Endeavor Communications Business Phone Solutions. More than a phone system, Endeavor offers a hosted, unified communication solution that gives businesses the ability to be accessible anytime, anywhere, or on any device. Find out more at www.weendeavor.com. A little bit of a tie up there. That's going to go back to Southmont. That tie up there with number 10, Christian Worth, who is rocking the mullet, I got to say. The waterfall on the back.
You know, I never had hair that long, and I always wished that I had, and I can't get it back. Although, I noticed the advertisement for the wigs. That's a possibility.
It is possible. Defining looks, wig, hair, and nail salon.
Yeah.
They can help you achieve your dream of having a mullet. I had one time for a couple weeks in college for preseason football camp, but that's besides the point.
Huh.
It was a good time. Good. You got to have the party in the back for sure.
Yeah.
So here we go, Southmont.
Like I said, I'd like to have long hair. I never did. Was never allowed to.
Balderas trying to battle for it.
And again,
Skylar Wood again.
Serbia's going to get a foul there, but boy, he is really aggressive, and I like the way he's playing, and I like his activity. And I'm sure that if they look at film after this match, Coach Butler's going to be very pleased with his play.
I'd imagine that he is, and this one trickles in front, just missing that. Out the toe was Tyler Petrosky, the freshman forward. So 10 minutes into the second half, we've already seen 2 strikes. One from Alanis and one from Hernandez. Frankfort's up 5-1. Glad to have you with us. Joey Lindstrom alongside Mike Walensky. We've been having fun watching some footy today as these guys roll on the pitch.
Julian Lutz gets into the action there, number 12. He scored early on in the match. Been pretty silent for most of the second half early on here.
And that goal came off the deflection off a couple goalkeepers and off the goalkeeper and a couple defenders. So it looks like Alex Campos Duenas is actually in at forward. Number 21, he wears the double zeros in goal. Here's Balderas serving it up from the corner. Campos Duenas almost had that one. Good header, maybe a little too far outside. Poking away nicely. A couple of headers for Hernandez. Makes another nice move. Gets it up to Lutz. Shifts it over to Balderas. Tries to strike it in deflection there by number 24, Becerro. Giving himself a chance here is Becerro again. Shifting it up, and I think that one just went off the toe of Christian Cruz. Caden Patton was trying to get that one, kick it through the air.
That shot
as it falls.
That was not very pretty. That went up in the air about 60 feet and went out of bounds.
Right. Unfortunately for Southmont, that one's going to fly out of bounds and get back to the Frankfort Hot Dogs. By the way, having never been here, very, very funny logo of the Frankfort Hot Dogs. I love that.
It's a sellable logo.
Yeah, very.
There's no doubt about it.
Very temperamental wiener dog. Here's Campos Duenas. Back up again is Becerril. Long crossing pass. And nicely done, shifting it up to Skylar Wood. Ryan Raimondo with the shot. That one doesn't go. Great save by Roman Campos, the freshman. Gets it up to Hernandez. Who powers through. Despite the good D, he's going to try to have another individual effort here, maybe. Now it's poked out of bounds, and Lutz will take it.
And Skylar Wood did a good job defensively for the Mounties coming up and marking the Frankfort Hot Dog.
That one sailing way wide. Definitely a misdirection off the right foot there of number 8, Lopez.
Hernandez may be cramping up a little bit, number 13.
And that's something you definitely pointed out. I mean, despite even the sun going down, it still is humid out here, and hydration has to be a paramount key here late in the game.
And I don't think young men or even older men know how to hydrate. We don't drink enough water.
Definitely not.
We just don't. And there's more cramps in high school sports, in college sports than the norm.
Look at like an athlete like Tom Brady. He's lasted so long, and he has the giant water bottle that you can get with the TB12. It's like 128 ounces. It's ridiculous, but the notion's still the same. It's important.
Mm-hmm.
Poking around in the midfield. And getting away was Raimondo.
The way this match is developing, I'm sure Coach Kennedy is going to be very frustrated by the performance of her club after they had the shutout of North Montgomery and they played Greencastle in a pretty good match in Crawfordsville. This one looks like Frankfort has handled throughout the course of the match.
When you see, too, it must be a factor when you have just played yesterday and get off the bus late. I mean, they came walking in, 15 minutes before game time or right when game time was supposed to happen, and then the delay, and I think that can obviously affect you, too. Trying to set up here is Skylar Wood. That's poked away. Good effort by a fellow captain. That's Garcia Cruz. Raimondo, that one goes wide.
Frankfort has been playing extremely well in their last 4 or 5 matches, and hopefully for Coach Chris that he can have this hot dog club continue to have success en route to sectional play.
After that loss in extra time to Crawfordsville, or prior to, excuse me, the 7-0 rout of Eastern High School out of Greentown, and then defeating Lebanon, a good Lebanon squad, 2-1. Losses to McCutcheon and Crawfordsville. Again, it's tough. I mean, they sit at 4-4, 2-1 in the conference, and then you start to all of a sudden build a little bit of momentum with this possible win, and the snowball effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Start putting a string of wins together, doing the right things.
Anytime Frankfort can beat Lebanon, that's the rival.
Right.
That's a plus. That's nice. And Lebanon has been hit with COVID. I believe Coach Butler said that 3 or 4 of their players were missing in that victory earlier. I know their football team a couple weeks ago had at least 35 players out.
Wow.
That's a lot.
35?
35 players. Now,
how many are usually on the team?
85.
85 for them?
So they only had like 50-some guys dressed in a loss to Danville. Now, this Friday night, Frankfort hosts Lebanon, and according to Jeff Smock, the football coach at Lebanon, most of the kids will return that they lost from COVID. Generally, he said because of contact tracing.
Well, that's certainly always the trouble here. Nice save by Campos Duenas. Excuse me, Roman Campos. Gets it over to Campos Duenas. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? I mean, no matter how many are vaccinated or what have you, you can't force that on anybody really, especially the high school kids. But it certainly does help to have all hands on deck at all times, and certainly affects a lot of people.
And contact tracing is something that you can't avoid. I mean, if you're near someone, and if you go home and quarantine because of contact tracing, good for you, that you didn't put anybody else in harm's way. And that's sometimes difficult for people to do because so many people come to work sick.
Right. Want to fight through it.
Yeah.
Approaching the halfway point, 5-1 our score. Frankfort with a pair of players that have 2 goals. That's Hernandez and Alanis, and then Lutz, who got our scoring started today.
I think for Coach Butler, he has to feel pretty good that his team has really played pretty well in the second half. Surprised me. I thought maybe they'd have a few breakdowns and letdowns with the lead at halftime, but they've continued to put the foot on the gas. Now a couple substitutions, both clubs.
So if you examine the 2A coaches poll, Garrett Catholic, number 1, West Lafayette, number 2, Canterbury, number 3, Mishawaka Marion, number 4, Concordia Lutheran, number 5, Bishop Dwenger up in Fort Wayne, that's number 6, Gibson Southern, 7, Heritage Hills, 8, Speedway, 9, Culver Academies, 10, as that one trickles through. Valderas.
Yeah, Jose got his first goal of the match, I believe. 6 for Frankfort.
The 6th goal for the Hot Dogs. Valderas, he was an impact player coming into this. He's the forward midfielder, halfway tandem position, utility guy, and he gets himself a goal. Entering the game for Valderas is number 5. That is Hunter Shearer. Excuse me. Hunter immediately making an impact. Also entering the game for Hernandez, that is number 14, Cesar Alanis, the freshman and younger brother to Yobi.
Just down the road, September 21st here at Frankfort, the Red Devils from West Lafayette, as you mentioned, ranked number 2 in Class 2A, invade Frankfort. That'll be a good match. Those two teams have had some pretty good matches over the years. And now West Lafayette might have their best squad in several years.
And we will have that game on the network. So make sure to tune in. September 21st, you said, right?
Yep, September 21st.
That one corralled. You got to give Southmont credit. They are being more aggressive in this half. Started to notice a little bit. We saw the fatigue set in at the end of the first half, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Crawling this one from the center back position. That was number 16, Lucas Opie. Southmont, their effort right now is to get their second goal on the board, gain that confidence, because Coach Kennedy teed it up. She said this team does not stop fighting. I'm sure we'll see more of that as we go on here. Roman Campos with the corral.
Coach Butler, it's nice to see a freshman in goal get some playing time. Every little experience counts.
That's right. You never know when this little experience here in a 6-1 lead to Southmont will ring in his head when he's the starter in between the pipes.
I like the fact, too, that young people can play because it allows for them to get better. Consequently, the whole team gets better, and when they go to practice, everybody works harder. Nobody says, gosh, I should have played. Why didn't I play? We were up 6-1.
Sounds like a guy that's worked a lot with coaches or has coached himself.
Yeah, you're only, at a championship level, you're only as good as the bottom of your roster, frankly. I don't care what anybody says. You could talk a lot about all your superstars. But if you can develop those lesser players at the bottom and move them up, it pushes everybody up. And everybody has a hand in everything, and that's really important.
Clearing that one out in front.
Speaking of youngsters, a team that had some youth that's continuing to develop is Coach Byers' Frankfort Football Club, who battles Lebanon on Friday. That's a team that I talked about off air that was winless for a couple years, and then last year had a breakthrough year. We're 5-6, and Riley Goodnight is probably as good a running back as you have around the area. He's outstanding at 1,000 yards rushing last year, and this year I think he's off to a good start as well.
Fantastic. The record right now?
Record right now, I believe they're 2-2. They had a loss with Tri-West, and they lost to Southmont, this same Southmont club they're playing in soccer. But again, they're still relatively young, and Sam Michael's an excellent quarterback. I think with their football team, they're evolving. They could be a factor in a couple years. It's still going to be tough. In Class 4A, they're in a very, very difficult sectional, primarily because Chittard, who won Class 3A, has been moved up to their sectional along with former state champion Ron Colley. So those two teams, along with Lebanon, who they have to play Friday, that makes a really difficult matchup.
That is tough, man.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Well, their soccer club seems to be in good shape as far as their season goes, sitting at 500. 15 minutes to play.
Yeah, with boys soccer here at Frankfort, Coach Butler, he's established, a culture of winning. So I think, I have to tell you this, that when they get into sectional play, there's a nice shot.
Beautiful shot, and that trickle goes.
It's like the freshman.
It does. It looks like Gray.
Yep.
It sure was. That one counts. He started to get the inch marker. He maybe thought he was offsides, but Gray gets the goal nonetheless. He's got an assist already. Make it 3 points for Hunter Gray.
On paper, when it comes to at least fans, and they take a look at the sectional for soccer, they say, Frankfort, they've won 2 sectionals. They've got a shot. So there's already a mystique that Coach Butler is establishing. And I think that trickles down to the players, and they start believing in themselves, especially if they get these victories here.
So it actually was not a goal, as we're being told, and so it turns out Hunter Gray was correct. He was a bit offsides. We did not see the official wave that flag, but nonetheless, still 6-1. A good play by Hunter Gray regardless. Get himself in position. Moving it up, that's Lopez. And poking it away is Adams.
I've talked about this a lot over the years as far as high school sports in Indiana. Winning is important, no doubt, but transforming the lives of young men and women are even more important. And what's beautiful about Indiana high school sports at every level is you don't have to have a winning record to play in the tournament.
Right.
Everybody gets to play, and I think that's important. Never give up. Always keep fighting. Always keep improving. Every play, every second. and you got a chance, regardless of your record in the regular season, to make a difference in the championship. There have been state champions in every sport who had losing records in the regular season.
And that's so what I appreciate too, because I grew up in Illinois, so it was never you have to make it in with a winning record and what have you. So it is nice that everyone gets a chance at the playoffs. You never know who can play upset, you never who can play spoiler. It's a special deal when it happens. So let's see if Southmont can scrape together a goal after getting one taken away. Ryan Gray with a nice little play to get himself open. Frankfort not letting up, though. Chance here out in front for Lopez. He's pushing to the goal. Makes a nice move, but a save by Gaylor. Another deflection there, that time off the foot of Campos Duenas. Alanis smartly placing that one, and that one sails over the top.
Good look for Frankfort there, putting pressure again on the Southmont Monties here. Late in the second half, this commanding 6-1 lead.
And if you're Chris Butler, you have to be happy with how your squad really hasn't given up either. It's easy to kind of just pack it in when you're leading.
There's no doubt about it. Both clubs in the second half have played with renewed enthusiasm.
Campos Duenas got some space. That one saved by Gaylor. Campos Duenas, that one as well, also wide of the cage.
Ironically, when you look at the statistics at the end of this match, Campos, who starred in goal, now has a couple shots on goal for the Hot Dogs. He's all over the book.
I love that. You got to love to see it. To be able to play forward and maybe have that mindset too has got to help when you're playing in goal.
The other thing about high school sports that I enjoy is the fact that this is pure amateurism. There's no doubt that college sports, which I enjoy as well, it's no longer amateur sports. Individuals still have a chance to make money. And that's okay. It's not bad. But here it's pure amateurism.
Right. You're playing for
the love.
For the love of the game. Yeah. A lot of pride, too, no doubt.
And much like the fact that you played football at Butler in a non-scholarship environment, you play more than just football. You play for academics and the love of getting an excellent education. But obviously football is very important as well.
Best internship I'll ever have. That's what we always used to say. Mm-hmm. 10 minutes to go here. So, according to our sources, Frankfort has an undetermined opponent coming in. Here's Barasil trying to get that one. And a good save by Roman Campos.
Logan Phillips there, number 15, flying all over the field now. This thing started to open up here offensively for Frankfort.
Ethan Hudspeth, the freshman, was there, and he's now on the field. Southmont has a tough opponent next. They go on to play Tri-West, who's 5-2 right now.
I don't know what's going on over in Hendricks County, but the drinking water must be really good because Tri-West and Danville every year in every sport are good. It's amazing. The Bruins at Tri-West and the Danville Warriors, Hendricks County, on the west side of Indianapolis, about 30, 35 miles west.
It's got to be something in the water then.
It's unbelievable.
Sure there's no hot springs over there or something that we don't know about?
I don't know.
Roman Campos tries to clear this one. Gets it up to Damian Lopez. You know, you go through these sectionals and you start to learn. I mean, sectional 25 is tough. All teams from, relatively from the area. Crawfordsville, Danville, Frankfort, Greencastle, North Montgomery, Southmont, and Tri-West. I mean, very, very tough poll when you head to the playoff tournament.
Yeah, it's a pretty good sectional. The good news is for Frankfort, everybody knows each other.
Yeah.
So there's not going to be any surprises. Oh, yeah.
And that one sent home. That one's a hat trick for Alanis. He's got himself 3. What a performance by this kid.
Good victory should be tonight for Frankfort. But frankly, every match will carry a different tone based on weather, officials, who's available to play. So as much as they're going to be excited about this one, they've got more to come.
They now tie their highest score of the year, originally coming against Eastern High School out of Greentown. That game they won 7-0. It's not quite their biggest. It is also their biggest win by 6 goals.
This one just kind of snowballed against Southmont. Yep. It's just one of those matches that happen. That's why, again, I don't bet sports, because these two teams play again, we could have a completely different outcome.
Right. Another reason why amateurism is good.
Yep.
Because you can't bet on it.
Mm-hmm.
Valderas. Nice forwarding pass. Poking it away, that is Justin Bachman. Good battle in between. Southmont trying to make something happen here. Christian Prado and Hunter Gray trying to trickle air and gets out of bounds. Ardente Dental offers high-tech dentistry with a personal touch. Our team are all trained and knowledgeable in many areas of dentistry. We believe strongly in continuing education to provide our patients with the latest technology and techniques. We look forward to providing the highest quality of dentistry achievable, not only for you, but your family and friends as well. Visit ardedental.com for more information. Ardente Dental, healthy smiles start here. Good play to move it up there by number 2. That is Ethan Hudspeth. That one gets corralled. Chasing it down is Campos Duenas. Looks like Frankfort maybe wants their 8th.
Unlike football, we don't have heights and weights.
You're right. Just grades.
But Ethan Hudspeth, probably about 5'4", maybe 130 pounds.
Mighty, though. Very mighty. He runs that forward position well out there. Saving it. I just love, I'm admiring the effort of the Frankfort Hot Dogs. They do not give up. Good move there by Campos Duenas. Boy, you don't think that, as athletic as goalkeepers sometimes are, that they would do as well at a skill position. Not that, obviously what they do is a skill, but very impressed by what Campos Duenas has had as far as foot skills.
And you can tell he's a keeper because he's walking up the field gingerly. There he goes.
There's Campos Duenas again. Deflecting off of Barasil, and with under 4 minutes to play. Frankfort right now an undetermined opponent for Saturday.
And I don't know why. I thought I saw a lightning strike on the far side of the field. Yeah, I could be dreaming.
Could be, but it looks like at the same time they're gathering. I also did see a lightning strike. So while we wait for the official word, with 3 minutes left to play, Mike, your impressions of this match, overall, looks like these teams actually are going to call it, and whether weather to do or what have you, an interesting, obviously unorthodox way to finish the match. But Frankfort, 7-1 victors. Your impressions, Mike Walensky?
Well, Chris Butler's club really outperformed Southmont from the get-go. They had more energy. They played well distributing the ball. And then things began to slow down in the middle of the first half. But in the second half, I think both clubs came out determined to make some things happen. And Frankfort was able to capitalize on a few mistakes that Southmont did. And ultimately, it's a good victory for Frankfort. They can feel real good about it, but there's a lot of work to do.
Frankfort moves on to 5-4, 3-1 in the conference. Southmont falls to 1-4-1 and 0-2 in the conference. This broadcast was a partnership between the Hot Dog Network and the ISC Sports Network. Big shout out to the student crew of Jennifer Del Toro and Eddie Roberts and teacher and director Richard Sally. Thank you so much for being with us. For Mike Walensky, I'm Joey Lindstrom. Our final here, Frankfort 7, Southmont 1. This has been a broadcast of the IHSA Boys Soccer on the ISC Sports Network. Have a great night, everyone.
Finding affordable, quality reproductive health care isn't always easy. Did you know that there is now a family planning and reproductive health clinic in our area that is income-based? Services include Pap tests, breast cancer screenings, pregnancy tests, sexually transmitted infection and HIV testing, same-day birth control placement, filled prescriptions, and free condoms. Services are on an income-based sliding scale. Visit 1234 Rossville Avenue or call 659-6063 for more information or to schedule an appointment. For the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, you need a managed Wi-Fi service with advanced Blast Wi-Fi. Blast Wi-Fi systems provide ultimate coverage, ultimate performance, and ultimate power all the time. Available from Mulberry Telecommunications, Blast Wi-Fi systems feature the latest Wi-Fi 6 technology and are equipped with unrivaled bandwidth and 4 times more simultaneous connections so you can connect tons of devices throughout your home with no lag and no downtime. Plus, with 24/7 support and remote troubleshooting, you can rest assured that Mulberry Telecommunications is always here to help you should any issues arise. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, and it's a blast. Blast Wi-Fi is now included with Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet packages. Contact Mulberry Telecommunications at 296-2885 today to get started.
Want lightning-fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town, so you can download huge files in a flash, stream videos at blazing speeds, and game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Defining Looks is a full-service wig and hair salon. We offer shampoo, cut, color, and styling for wigs and hair. Whether your situation is medical or cosmetic, our goal is to help you every step of the way in this emotional process. Let Defining Looks help you create your signature look. Schedule a consultation at defininglooks.com. Defining Looks, located on Sagamore Parkway North, next to Home Depot.
Finding affordable, quality reproductive health care isn't always easy. Did you know that there is now a family planning and reproductive health clinic in our area that is income-based? Services include Pap tests, breast cancer screenings, pregnancy tests, sexually transmitted infection and HIV testing, same-day birth control placement, filled prescriptions, and free condoms. Services are on an income-based sliding scale. Visit 1234 Rossville Avenue or call 659-6063 for